Okay. All right. Shalom, shalom, Israel. We are the, what should I call it? Yahawashi elect. All right. Today's Passover. All right. And before we start, we're gonna stand up. Okay. And we're gonna look to the east, right there. We're gonna give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahawashi, Waha, Rakha, Quadash. All right. Double honors to the apostle and the elders who teach and rule well. Peace salutation to the brothers, who are in the Lord, preaching the gospel all over the globe. And shalom wahab to the brothers and sisters, okay, who are waiting the return of, Yahawashi, all right. So today, obviously, it's the Passover, all right, and this is a very serious time, okay. And before we start, I'd like to give you a bit of game about, because that has nothing to do with the one that we used to, to worship. To celebrate, when we were in the churches and that, that's a solemn assembly. Okay, that's something that the Most High, require us to do as Hebrew Israelite. Okay, and it's done every 14th day of the first month of the year, of the Hebrew year. Okay, so the Passover is a solemn assembly, okay, a sacred, like a, something that is like a holy convocation, and is in Hebrew is Ait Zarah. All right. Now the term Ait Zarah means to restrain, okay, to restrain, okay, to retain close up, to detain, to halt, to stop. So free time in the year, okay. You got that one, which is the Pasach, all right, the feast of the unleavened bread. You've got the feast of the weeks, and then you've got the tabernacle, the feast of the tabernacle. In each occasion, the Most High require all men in Israel, okay, to come before Him. This is a very serious, okay, gathering, and even after that, you got to be careful, how you do things as far as sin. Okay? Because this is the time where the Most High sift people, and we will read that as we go on. Alright? So, it's not like a party. Alright? This is the time, it's like a little initiation, for you to start the year with Yahweh. Okay? This is the time for you to look at yourself, okay, and trying to change things. That's why it's called the feast of unleavened bread. Okay, can someone get Galatians, 5 and 6? Do you have your Bible on you? Yeah, get the Bible. Galatians, let's go to 5 and 9.
What's that, New Testament?
Yes, Galatians. Galatians 5 and 9.
Oh my God.
Have you got it? Just read. Whoever got it can read it. Right.
It's the book of Galatians chapter 5 verse 9.
Bring that out.
A little leaven leaveneth the whole lump.
Right. A little leaven leaveneth the whole lump. Alright? And that's the reason why Yahweh, is telling us not to eat the leavened bread, man. Anything that has yeast in it, the Most High don't want us to read it, because to eat is like that. Because when you think about it, like this yeast, that demon on the scroll, that a representation of how the demon works. Okay? Because you got like a little yeast, a little leaven, you put it in a dough that you make for the cake, and before you know it, that cake, becomes so big, that cake raised. And it's the same thing with our life, our spiritual life. When we have certain sin in us, okay, and we don't take away that leaven, after a while, it gets to the point, it gets to our neck, and we can't breathe anymore. And that's when people find it difficult to follow the truth. Okay, they drop out of the truth. or they were like, you know what, I can't do this anymore. You know, I have to go, because you let in the leaven in your life, you know, takes over you. This truth is almost like a warrior thing. You gotta constantly fight against your sin, man. You know? Can someone get Deuteronomy 16 and 16? Deuteronomy 16 and 16. Deuteronomy 16, and then we're gonna read when you're ready, get Exodus. Can you read? Yeah, get Exodus 12. Yes, Exodus 12.
Deuteronomy 16 and 16.
Yes.
3 times in a year shall all thy males appear before the Lord thy God in the place which he shall choose.
Right.
In the feast of unleavened I'm sorry, it's like,
Are you reading Deuteronomy 16 and 16? Yeah.
yeah.
Read that again. Read that from the top.
Alright, cool. 3 times in a year shall all thy males appear.
Right.
before
3
the Lord.
times in a year. So I that's what I explained earlier about the feast of unleavened bread. That's the first one.
Appear.
The feast of the weeks. That's the second one, and the feast of the tabernacle, where the Most High require all. That's why, you know, when you see other camps, okay, like certain camps using it as something that's festive, like at a party, they rent those big places, and you got women and all that. Not to say that, you know, women cannot participate, but the ritual, like the one that we're doing right now, and the prayer we will do after, all of that, that's the ritual. That's for men. It will be unbiblical for women to be, you know, participating in what we're doing. Yeah, let's say we have women and they came, and they will be staying in a room among themselves, and once we're done, then they will come serve us. We're gonna eat together, but that's off camera, like because the ceremony is finished. Okay, but that one, that's men, because that's a solemn assembly. It's not like a party. It's not to eat the lamb and to drink and have party. No, this is a solemn assembly. When you eat that bread and you eat that lamb, you shouldn't eat it unworthily. We'll read that in 1 Corinthians 11. But yeah, carry on.
Before the Lord thy God in the place which he shall choose.
Right.
In the feast of unleavened bread,
Mm-hmm.
and in the feast of weeks,
Right.
and in the feast of tabernacles,
Right.
and they shall not appear before the Lord empty.
Right. So in other time, back in time, you have to come with like something. But if you want to put it in context, in the modern day context, okay, you can't come empty. Meaning you can't come. This feast, right? You can't just, you know, you came and you smoked some weed or smoked some cigarette, or you went and have sex with someone else's wife, or you did your madness, and you say, okay, you know what, I'm gonna come and do the feast. No, because what's gonna happen to you is that you might fall sick. Okay, you might. Some people even died after that. There's a story of brothers, okay, in America, in the West, in a one West camp, that died before or after this. Because they drunk the blood, because the wine represents the blood of Yahawashi.
Yeah.
And the bread and the lamb represent the body of Yahawashi.
Right.
They drunk it unworthily, and something happened to them. This thing is not a game. And also, we are getting ready to enter a new phase of the prophecy. You saw what's going on right now between Russia and Ukraine. That's, if you want, that's the tip of the iceberg in regard to the Third World War. Obviously, the Third War is not there. The Bible talks about the rumors of war. But this is just the beginning. This is just like, you know, this is the introduction. You understand what I'm saying? And then from then, you have a rippling effect. Already, the fact that, you know, Russia is going against Ukraine, you've got what? You've got the petrol. That's when in America you got $9 for a liter. Over here it's $165, but it's gonna keep on. And the petrol, there's other things that come with it. So obviously the cost of living gonna go high. It's gonna create inflation. It's gonna create famine, and it's gonna bring the new, you know, the new world order, which is actually the cheap. They're talking about right now the digital currency that the government will put. So this is where we're going. So we will need a lot of faith, and we will need, a lot of protection coming from Yahweh, by Hashem Yahawashi. So this is not the time to be wishy-washy. You gotta be firm, because if you're not firm, by the time the plagues and all of these things coming, you're gonna be bugged out. All right, get Isaiah 33 and 6. Okay, and then you're gonna finish that. You're gonna read the Exodus 12, man. We're gonna start from that, and then we're gonna build on it. This is a very important Passover, man. This Passover, this 2022 Passover, this is something that you have to take. This is your, I wouldn't say your last chance. There's no such thing as last chance, but this is your chance to really grab it and run with it until Yahweh shall return, right?
It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 33, verse 6.
And
It reads, "And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times."
right, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of our time. Carry on.
And strength of salvation, the fear of the Lord Yahweh is his treasure.
Right. So we gotta learn to fear. How do you fear? By having this knowledge, by understanding it, and by actually practicing it, like putting it into practice, man. It's not just, but the Bible speaks of get a revelation, get Romans 2 and I believe 13. This is what we need to do. We can't just be hearers of the word. We have to be doers of the word. Okay? It's not about being Hebrew Israelite. Oh yeah, I'm an Hebrew Israelite. I'm wearing fringes. I'm going out there to preach. No. You gotta put in practice what you're learning. You gotta become a new man. What is he saying?
Romans chapter 2, verse 13. For not the hearers of the law
Right, for not the hearers of the law
are just before Yahweh, but the doers of the law shall be justified.
the doer, because we want to be justified, man. So you gotta rehearse. Okay? Now go to Judges 5 and 11.
Which one?
Judges 5 and 11. We have to rehearse, man. In order for us to be justified, we have to rehearse, and that's what we're doing today. You know? You got to read it if you got it.
They that are delivered from the noise of archers
Right,
in the places of drawing water,
right.
there shall they rehearse the righteous acts.
Right, they rehearse, and also read it again slow from the top.
Alright, cool. They that are delivered from the noise of archers in the places of
They that are delivered, that's a prophecy right there. Because Putin started talking about another bit. Putin it represent the noise of the archers, and Putin is talking about the nuclear already. That's the nuclear, the noise of the archers, man. That's the nuclear weapon. Carry on.
Okay, 11.
Yeah, 11. Yeah.
In the places of drawing water.
In a place of draining water. Draining water is slavery. We are in, Egypt all over again. We read that in Revelation 11 and 8. Spiritual Egypt. This is where we are. This is slavery, man. When you go to work, when you go to uni, everything is slavery. And when you go to uni, what you have to do, you have to get yourself in debt, right? When you go to work, you're paying tax, they're working, but you're not getting nothing from it. You're a slave. Okay? So, carry on.
Okay. There shall they rehearse the righteous act.
There shall they rehearse the righteous act, man. So that's what we're doing right now. In our captivity, we are learning to rehearse the righteous act, like what we're doing right now. What we're doing right now is rehearsing the holy, so we will be justified by doing that. Because we are waiting to be justified. Okay? You done? Okay, read that one. Now we're going to go back to
finish.
Are you finished? You're not finished, carry on. Salakia.
Of the Lord, even the righteous acts toward the inhabitants of his villages in Israel.
Right.
Then shall the people of the Lord go down to the gates.
Right, that's us, man. Go down to the gate, man. That's when the Most High opened the doors for us to go to the boat. Before that, we're gonna have to prove to him that we're worthy. Because imagine this is an eternal crown. This is serious. I mean, obviously everybody plays a role. That's why, like today, I'm not worried about, fake brothers or whatever. Like, everybody has his role, man. You know, everybody has his role that he has to play, but ultimately, you know, you're gonna have to drink the cup. You know, wherever cup is prepared for you, that's what you're gonna drink. You know, but it's important for each one of us to work at our own salvation as well. You know, when we know around each other, you gotta be real about this thing. You know, you gotta be, you know, practicing, you know, rehearsing repentance, man. Yeah, man, Exodus 12, yo. Start one.
Exodus 12, starting at verse 1.
Right.
And Yahawashi spake unto Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt, saying, This month shall be unto you the beginning of months.
Right.
It shall be the first month of the year to you. Speak ye unto all the congregation of Israel,
Right.
saying in the 10th day of this month they shall take to them every man a lamb, according to the house of their fathers, a lamb for an house.
Right.
And if the household be too little for the lamb, let him and his neighbour next unto his house take according to the number of the souls. Every man according to his eating shall make your count for the lamb. Your lamb shall be without blemish,
Right.
a male of the first year.
Right, but we can't do it in captivity.
No.
You know? Case in point, we go to the butchers and we get it lamb, so that's why we say we rehearsing. You cannot do it. So when brothers certain can say, oh, you have to keep the law, you are saved by the law. No, you can't be saved by the law, because if you want to be saved by the law, James 2:10 say if you break one of those laws, you break every law. So you can only rehearse it. Carry on.
And that's also
Yeah,
what the Apostle Paul is going into.
Right.
In the book of Corinthians, when he was talking about food sacrificed to idols.
Right.
You know, and that's why Paul was. A lot of people didn't really understand Paul's rights, because they initially thought that Paul was telling them to not keep the law, but Paul was using wisdom, and he was basically trying to tell us that, listen, we're not going to be justified by the law. We still keep the law, but the faith aspect has to be a lot greater. You know.
Right. And if you go into the idol, like I went and bought, you know, the lamb or whatever, I bought it with the Ishmaelite. We all know that those guys, they do the little, you know, ritual and whatever, you know. But is there idol greater than my God? No. That's what Paul was saying, really. You know, my God, Yahawashi, is greater than the idol. All I have to do is pray on it before I eat. As long as it's not pork and it's lamb. Because we're in captivity. Where am I going to get the lamb? Am I going to go somewhere? There's nothing. In captivity. So you have to exercise faith, like the brother said. Yeah, carry on. Faith in Yahawashi.
Your lamb shall be without blemish.
Right.
A male of the first year. Ye shall take it out from the sheep or from the goats.
Right.
And ye shall keep it until the 14th day of the same month.
Right.
And the whole assembly of the congregation of Israel shall kill it in the evening. And they shall take up the blood and strike it on the two side posts and on the upper doorpost of the houses, wherein they shall eat it. And they shall eat the flesh in that night.
Obviously, can you read the part on top of it about the blood?
And they shall take off the blood and strike it on the two side posts and on the upper door and on the upper door.
We don't need to do that. Okay? Because that represented Yahawashi. That blood represented Yahawashi. Alright? Because what happened is that when you read the whole chapter, after, you know, Yahawashi at night he came, it's Yahawashi that came. That angel of death, that's Yahawashi. Al-Shadia. The demon-like power, man. He came and what did he do? He took every, you know, single, you know, firstborn of, you know, of each household, of Egyptian household, man. But the men, the Israelite, what they did, for them not to be, you know, struck by that angel of death, they had to put the blood on the door. All right, so that's what we're doing tonight, because great judgment right now, as we speak spiritually, there are meetings that are being, you know, held. You know, there are judgment that's about to be. They're writing the judgment that will be passed on in the coming months. So you want to cover yourself with the blood, but you're gonna take the physical blood, but you got Yahawashi now. Okay, you have to invoke the blood. You have to let the blood of Yahawashi actually protect you, man.
Sure.
And us being, you know, obeying us being, us obeying these, doing that, that's our obedience, that's the manifestation of our obedience. So therefore, the Most High, Yahweh Tazah, Lord willing, He will protect us, our family, and our loved ones from the hell that's coming. So this Passover is very important, man. Do it to the best of ability, but everybody in the truth should be, doing that, rehearsing that. Okay, carry on.
And they shall take of the blood and strike it on the two sides.
Right, obviously.
And on the upper door.
Right.
Post of the houses wherein they shall eat it.
Mm-hmm.
And they shall eat the flesh in the night.
Right. That's what we're about to do. Yeah. Carry on.
Roast with fire and unleavened bread.
Right. So when you do the thing, you have to keep it. Obviously, you put your salt, but you don't put no seasoning in it. You just put it in the oven, wherever. If you go to the garden, you barbecue, wherever, or you grill or whatever. But it's not. This is not a feast, man. Okay. Now the unleavened bread. The reason why they use the unleavened bread because they were rushing. When brother read it, you will see they were rushing, man. Do you know what it is to be expecting deliverance and the Exodus, and you don't even know what's going to happen. You don't know if Yahawashi is going to come or if he's not going to come. You don't know if trying to get out of the country, they will kill. You don't know that, so your heart is beating fast. You're just moving on faith, basically.
Of course.
So they had the shoes on, they were ready, and they ate them with haste. So the unleavened bread is a quick thing. So that's what it represents. When we do that, we go back to what our forefathers did. So I'm amazed when I see brothers, turning it into a feast. This is a solemn assembly. This is a holy convocation. Okay, we rehearsing. Carry on.
And they shall eat the flesh in that night.
Right.
Roast with fire and unleavened bread.
Right.
And with bitter herbs they shall eat.
Bitter herbs. Why bitter herb? Because of the circumstances in which they are. When you eat something bitter, it's not pleasant. You're about to go to war, man. You're about to cross the Red Sea. You're about to expect the Most High to open so you can come out. You're thinking, how am I going to come out? There's water all over us. How are we coming out? So that's that anxiety, and also it represents Yahawashi. When he was, having his last meal in his last supper. That was what? That was on the Passover, and he had to die for us the day after, man. So how can the Passover be a feast? Now this is the time where you have to think about your walk. What am I going to do? Am I doing the right thing? Because your Lord and Savior went through hell at that time, man. He was so stressed that he was bleeding blood. He was sweating blood. That's what I meant, not bleeding blood. He was sweating blood. The level of stress.
Not stress.
And let me tell you something. Since I've been in this truth, every Passover comes with something. Case in point. When we finished the Passover in 2020, what came?
COVID.
Exactly. This is real, man. And I'm telling you, after the Passover, it's not gonna be easy, man. Things getting serious. So brother gonna have to take these things serious, man. There's a lot of things that's happening around there, and then the government's about to clamp down on us as well. A lot of things are about to be revealed. It's gonna be mad. It's gonna be like a movie, man. Carry on.
Eat not of it raw.
Right.
Nor sodden at all with water.
Right. So don't cook it. Like don't make it soup. Like a sauce or like a stew, like a lamb stew.
That's why you're saying that's what you
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why when you want to say no, don't do it. That's we have to eat it like that.
Raw, yeah.
That's why I did the bread the way I did it. I did the salad. There's no things, just salad and lamb. I just put the salt on it and I put it in the oven. We warriors, man. Gird up your loin like men.
Of course.
That's why a lot of brothers cannot come in the truth or finish it because this is something that they're not used to. And a lot of these came to accommodate that spirit, that Babylonian spirit. That turned the camps into Christian, in a Christian way. Oh yes, let's come Passover and it's a feast. Everybody get dressed up, but they want to draw people. in this thing.
Mm.
But if you want to be real, you're gonna get a lot because it's not appealing. But that's the way of the Most High. Carry on.
Eat not of it raw, nor sodden at all with water, but roast with fire, his head with his legs, and with the pertinence thereof. And ye shall let nothing of it remain until the morning. And that which remaineth of it until the morning ye shall burn with fire. And thus shall ye eat it, with your loins girded.
Right.
Your shoes
With your loin girded, carry on. You know what is the loin girded? You know what is it? Your loin that's girded, you know what it means? You know when you put like a belt.
Yeah.
Like
a girdle.
A girdle, like something to, when you want to go to war, like to make sure that strap it, like to make sure your trousers don't drag or whatever, like get ready.
Or when you put it on, like, longer waist.
Yeah, like if you run like that, the things ain't dropping because it's getting ready, carry on.
And that's what Yahawashi used to sport himself.
Right.
And yeesh.
Gotta be ready. These feasts supposed to prepare us to what's coming, man. It's not easy, but the Most High will get us through it.
Mm.
You got Asians, you got a lot of things watching us, a lot of things going on right now, man. Yes, this is not easy, bro. Some of us will die in this truth. This is not easy. This is not something people should play with, man. Every time we go on Saturday, we put our life on the deck and roll up on us anytime. Yeah, this sister, she telling me, "Oh, why don't you come? Why don't you let me come to camp?" I'm like, "What you talking about? This is war, man."
Mm.
If they roll up on us, what you gonna do? You gonna get taken. This is the wrong time to come. So she will say, "Oh, but there's certain camp where the women." I said, "That's them. That's them.
Mm.
You gotta see through the spirit. If that's how they feel, let them do it." But I know that's not the right thing. It's like me bringing my children and everyone, they come sit down. That's what I'm preaching. When you go spying, agent around you, you know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Now this is war, man. So carry on.
Your shoes on your feet,
Right.
and your staff in your hand,
Mm-hmm.
and you shall eat it in haste.
Right. It's to eat in haste, man.
Quickly.
Yes. They were eating it quickly. They weren't sitting down and having a feast. No. They were eating it quickly. Carry on.
It is Yahweh's Passover.
It is Yahweh Passover. To pass over. That's two meanings. The first meaning is Yahawashi passing through to kill. When you read it down, that's what it tells you. Can you read it from maybe 28 and see what it says? Or 20, what did he say? The part where he talks about it was killing. Yes. So he was passing, killing, and the second one passed over. That's when Israel passed over. That's when they were able to leave a captivity. So by doing that's a ritual for us to live. So even in your own life, in your personal life, I'll keep it real. Whatever is masturbation, whatever is porn, whatever is adultery, whatever is gossip, whatever is having a dark heart, not being able to forgive, whatever you're doing, smoking weed, smoking something on the low, I don't know, whatever you're doing, frauds, whatever you're doing, yeah? This is the time for you to let it go. The Most High allowing you to pass over, to be able to conquer your sins. You got it? Yeah, read it, man.
For Yahweh will pass through to smite the Egyptians.
You give the precept and then name it and then you can read it. Name it and read it.
In Exodus chapter 12 verse 23.
Right.
For Yahweh will pass through to smite the Egyptians.
Right.
And when he seeth the blood upon the lintel,
right,
and on the two side posts, Yahweh will pass over the door,
right,
and will not suffer the destroyer to come in unto your house. Your house is to smite you.
right, and that's what's going to happen very soon. So by doing that, what you do, you put the blood on your house, So when the judgment come now, you're kind of like safe. You and your family are safe. So it's very important to be here, all these goons and all those women, that's what they got it going on. Oh, I don't need to do it. They're living their life. You're going to see what's going to happen to them, man. The Most High ain't lying, never lied, man. One thing I respect about this truth is true. I can vouch for that, yes. I've been around, I'm telling you, this is the real deal, man. This is the real deal. Carry on.
And ye shall observe this thing for an ordinance to thee and to thy sons forever. And it shall come to pass when you come to the land which Yahweh will give you, according as he hath promised, and ye shall keep the service. And it shall come to pass when your children shall say unto you, what mean ye by this service? That ye shall say, it is the sacrifice of Yahweh's Passover.
Right.
You passed over the houses of the children of Israel in
Right.
Egypt, when he smote the Egyptians and delivered our houses, and the people bowed their head and worshipped.
Right.
And the children of Israel went away and did as Yahweh commanded Moses and Aaron, so did they. And,
Right.
and it came to pass that at midnight Yahweh smote all the firstborn.
He did it. That's what he's about to do to the Edomite, man. Because these Edomite represent the spiritual Egypt. They're the Egyptian of our times. Because what does the term Egypt mean? It means servitude. They got us in servitude too, so they got to pay for it. And along with all those, of our wicked, all the wicked of our house, all the wicked of our house will pay as well. Because they join hand in hand with the enemy. So us now, the Most High is putting us in our cover where we're not going to be touched by the angel of death and destruction and judgment when they come. So by you doing that, by you following the Most High, being obedient, it might sound foolish, but you're actually, covering yourself. Now that we read that, we're going to have to go. First, let's read on 1 Corinthians 5, 6 to 8. And then you read First Corinthians 11. You're going to start 23 all the way to 29, something like that, man.
5, yeah?
No, we're not going to be long, huh?
First 5.
We'll go straight to the point, man.
6 to 8. 6 to 8.
Yeah, what do you have? What does he say?
Okay. Talking about fornication in the church.
Read it, man.
What, 5 to what? 6 to
Read
8?
it, man.
Okay. Your
Let me see.
Small print.
Show my Bible.
No, I've got mine.
Yeah, 6. I see from 6. Look,
6 to 8.
5, 6 to 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Sorry, guys.
Because a lot of because the Corinthian church was full of it, man. Full of it. To the point where, Paul had to address a lot of the things, man. Because Jake, wherever Jake is, it's like 11 is all over the place. Yeah, Carol, read it out.
Your glorying is not good. Know ye not?
So your glorying is the meaning like you being proud. Because Jake is proud, man.
It's not good.
Carry on.
Know ye not that a little leaveneth the whole lump?
Right, read about that, yeah.
Purge out there.
So when you eat like, leaven, right? It's like it's a spiritual leaven slow you down basically. Because you don't grow. When you let sin take over you, you don't grow. And it can be when someone is not growing in the truth, you can see that. Carry on.
Purge out therefore the old leaven.
Yeah, so purge out that old leaven. So the Most High is giving us a chance to deal with the old man. Okay? There's such thing as an old man when he's truth, meaning your old character, your old personality. You're your own enemy, When you look yourself in the mirror, just know that you're looking at your enemy. So you need to do some work within yourself if you want to grow in this truth. If you want the Most High to touch you, man, spiritually, to heal you in many ways, you gotta do it's a fight. You gotta have strong will in this truth, man. That's why the prophets are warriors. They're just not warriors like guys in the street, but they're warriors spiritually, physically, in the head, in the
mentality, yeah.
Yes, carry on. Yeah, you're on 6 now. Right?
That ye may be a new lump, as ye are unleavened, for even Christ our Passover is sacrificed for us.
Right.
Therefore, let us keep the feast.
Right.
Not with old leaven.
Not with old leaven. So the Most High is telling us, don't keep the feast with your old leaven, with your own ways. You're going to come and then the next day, boom, back again to the whole, system, the old man, I call it the old man system. gossiping, saying this, saying that, manipulating brothers in the name of love, all of that. It's like, come on, man. We have to grow out of it, man. You have to grow out of it. Carry on.
Neither with the leaven of malice.
Neither with the leaven of malice. So the Most High is calling us to get rid of malice, man. To be real with ourselves, man. To be sincere in this truth.
Mm-hmm.
Carry on.
And wickedness.
But
with the unleavened bread of sincerity and truth.
And with the unleavened bread of sincerity. So as we eat, very soon we're going to be eating it. May not be the symbolic of us coming out or leaving the old man, and embracing the new man,
Amen.
So the Most High can really, because the Most High will use some of brothers powerfully, man. Some brothers will have spiritual power, man. The police will come against them, boom, they disappear. This is real. It's coming back in fashion. Jacob is coming back in fashion. The power that follows Jacob is coming back in fashion, but you gotta be a vessel. Now, I'll ask you a question. Can you drink water in a glass that's dirty?
No, I shouldn't.
So, the Most High, although he wanna show you might, he show his might, he cannot put his power in you because you're dirty. Because you got an old man, you don't make an effort, okay, to show fruit, spiritual fruit. So therefore, he ain't gonna use you. But if you're clean, then the Most High will put his wine, his water, his oil in you, man.
Oh yeah.
Because you're clean. Do you see what I'm saying? Because the Most High deal with purity, with holiness. The more you're holy, the more he draw close to you.
It's true.
If you stay in your sin, it's hard for the Most High. There's a verse saying that it's not because his hand are too short to take you from where you are, but your sin your iniquities create a barrier between you and him. I think the Isaiah 59 or something like that. Okay, good. Then can you read the brother is not feeling well? We're gonna close out in a bit, and then we're gonna pray before we proceed.
1 Corinthians 11, verse 23 to 29.
Breaking of bread. Yeah, what you have?
1 Corinthians 11, 23 to 29.
1 Corinthians 11, 23. Yes. Read it. See all the way, man. Read it.
The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 11, starting at verse 23.
Mm-hmm.
For I have received of the Lord that which also I delivered unto you,
Right.
that the Lord Yahawashi, the same night in which he was betrayed, took bread.
Right.
And when he had given thanks...
So yeah, a lot of brothers are about to be betrayed in this truth, man. A lot of brothers are be betrayed, about to be killed, thrown into prison, But that's the way it is, man. If you die in this truth, can someone quickly go to Revelation 14, Malak? Go to Revelation 14 and 13 before we carry on. All you have to do is be in this truth, man. You're gonna be a winner. That's all you have to do, man.
13, 14.
Yeah. Just want to check something. Yeah, man. After that, what we're gonna be prayers, and then that'll be it, man.
You ready?
Yeah. What does he say? Revelation 14 and 13. What does he say?
And deceiveth them that dwell on the earth. By the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast.
Salaka. Let me see if it's.
Is that the
It's
wrong
a
one?
quick one before we carry on. Let me see quickly. 13, 16. 13, yeah. 13, 14 and 13, yeah, that's right. Carry on.
14 and 13.
Mhm.
I'll read that again.
Mm-hmm.
And deceiveth them that dwell on the earth
Mm-hmm.
by the means of those miracles
Mm-hmm.
which he had power to do in the sight of the beast,
Mhm.
saying to them that dwell on the earth,
Mhm.
that they should make an image to the beast which had
Where are you? Revelation 14.
13, 14.
No, I did 14 and 13. Is that what I said?
14.
Yeah, 14 and 13.
I was doing that.
Is that, let me see. Revelation 14 and 13.
Oh, well, 14 and 13.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
Don't worry.
Sorry,
man.
guys.
Sorry.
14 and 13.
Mm.
And I heard a voice from heaven saying unto me, Write, blessed are the dead which die in the Lord from henceforth.
Right.
Yea, saith the Spirit,
Mm-hmm.
that they may rest from their labours,
Right.
and their works do follow them.
Right. So if a brother dies in the truth,
Yeah.
you know, his works follows him, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now read Isaiah 59 and 19 quickly before we read that and then we go.
No.
So those who die, the work will follow them, you know. So they're good, man. And they will come back once the Most High, when Yahweh shall return, they'll be resurrected with him, you know. And they will reign, man. They will reign. So
53, yeah?
no, Isaiah 59 and 19. For some brothers, this is what's going to happen. Some will die, but some it ain't going to be easy for Esau, man. Because I know you've been watching the X-Men and this and that, man. You're going to see X-Men, man. You're going to see Hancock, you know, Carry.
This speaks about the Spirit of the Lord standard.
Right.
So shall they fear the name of the Lord
Right,
from the west, and his glory
Right.
from the rising of the sun.
right,
When the enemy shall come in like a flood,
right,
the Spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard
right. And
against
lift
them.
up his standard against them. So some brother will receive spiritual power by the time come, man, against Esau, against all this army, man.
Yeah.
Okay? The Most High will give power to some of the elect. It's gonna be serious, man. Alright? So now let's go to 1 Corinthians 11:23 onward, yeah.
It's the book of
Down.
First book of Corinthians, chapter 11, starting at verse 23.
Right.
But I have received of the Lord that which also I delivered unto you, that the Lord Yahawashi, the same night in which he was betrayed,
Right.
took bread,
Right.
and when he had given thanks, he brake it,
Right.
and said, Take, eat, this is my body, which is broken for you.
Right.
This do in remembrance of me.
Right. So that's what we're doing right now. Every time we do that, you know, that's what we're doing. Okay, we're breaking bread, we're eating the flesh, you know, and we're drinking the blood of Yahawashi. Now you got some simple people who like, that's witchcraft, that's Wicca. That's not witchcraft, that's not Wicca, it's symbolic, man. Okay, it's a spiritual thing. Alright, carry on.
Verse 25. After the same manner also he took the cup when he had supped, saying, This cup is the New Testament in my blood.
Right,
Do this ye, as oft as ye drink it, in remembrance of me.
right,
For as often as ye eat this bread and drink this cup, ye do show the Lord's death till he come.
right,
Wherefore whosoever shall eat this bread and drink this cup of the Lord,
read that again, read the 27 again, man. Loudly,
Oh.
read that again, man.
wherefore whosoever shall eat this bread
Right,
and drink this cup
mm-hmm,
of the Lord unworthily
right.
shall be guilty of
Right.
the body and blood of the Lord.
So you better know what you're doing, man. You better know what you get yourself into, man. This is serious business. You know, this is not a joke, man. I've been in this truth for 3 years. Yes, I'm a baby. But the thing about me is like I've seen a lot. I was thrown in it like I've seen a lot of things in 3 years, man. And I'm telling you, this truth is not a joke, man. We're not perfect, okay? We gotta rehearse it. But we gotta be careful, we gotta pay attention and be careful, man. We gotta be real. Yeah, carry on, bro.
Verse 28. But let a man examine himself.
Right, so let's examine ourselves, man. Let's examine ourselves. Carry on.
And so let him eat of that bread
Right,
and drink of that cup.
right. So if you got something going on right now before we start praying, just ask the Most High, man, Yahweh, have mercy on me. I'm not perfect, I'm struggling with something. I want you to change me, help me. Help me, man. It's not easy, it's Babylon, it's captivity, but help me. I'm willing to change. Yeah? So before we pray, we'll have like a minute of silence. You can do that internally, before we start praying, man. Because this is real. Yeah.
Verse 29. For he that eateth and drinketh unworthily,
right,
eateth and drinketh damnation to himself,
right,
not discerning the Lord's body.
right.
Verse 30. For this cause many are weak and sickly among
Right,
you.
so a lot of brothers are sick because they're taking these things. Yes. And a lot of people even die. The people that died, not because the brother died, meaning that he was wicked. Sometimes the Most High take him away before. Some people, when you read, before we carry on, can you go to Isaiah 57:1? Carry on quickly. Just hold on to that. Isaiah 57:1.
Okay, shall we read it out?
Yeah.
The righteous perisheth,
Right.
and no man layeth it to heart.
Right.
And merciful men are taken away,
Right.
none considering that the righteous
Right.
is taken away from the evil to come.
Right. So, some brothers die because the Most High is, keeping them safe, from the wrath to come, man. So, all death in the truth are not necessary, but some death in the truth is the Most High judgment. So carry on. All right.
Verse 30. For this cause many are weak and sickly
Right.
among you, and many sleep.
Yeah, that means the many dead, sleeping dead, yeah.
For if we would judge ourselves, we should not be judged.
Right, meaning like if you take care of yourself, meaning like if you work on yourself, examine yourself, and lessen the frequency or the level of iniquity in your life, what's happening is that you can, because Yahawashi will judge, he's the ultimate judge. If you judge yourself, that means you examine yourself and you stop certain things. How can you be judged? How can you have a judgment coming your way when you're doing your best to stay out of trouble, to please the Most High? You cannot be judged. You get what I'm saying? But if you don't judge yourself, meaning if you don't take care, don't take heed, to this truth and try to make amendment, then judgment is something that's promised. Okay, carry on.
But when we are judged, we are chastened of the Lord,
Right.
that we should not be condemned with the world.
So that means that when we go through certain situations in truth, it's actually to purify us, so we can be justified. So you have that separation between us and the world. When the time comes, they will know who the men of the Lord, who they are. Because we being justified through our pain, through our trial and tribulation. Okay? Carry on.
Wherefore, my brethren, when you come together to eat, tarry one for another.
Right.
And if any man hunger, let him eat at home, that ye come not together unto condemnation.
Yeah.
And the rest will I set in order when I come.
Right, so when this feast is not to come and eat, like eat everything, let's eat. No. Just eat a little bit, That's what it is, man. Alright? So with that, that was a quick one, obviously. A quick preaching about, the feast of the unleavened bread. So we got like 8 more. We got today and 7 more days to go. Today is a Sabbath, and then the last day, which is the 24th, will be Sabbath as well, which is the first day. Okay. So yeah, we hope that you were edified, and we'll see you next time. But before that, we'll pray. Okay. Because the Bible tells us to pray without ceasing, man. We will look to the east. East is this way, right? So we're going to get up, like I say, 1 minute, okay, for us to kind of like, confess our sin and things like that, and then we're going to pray. Alright? So let's go up, let's face the east, man. Obviously the brother is not feeling well, so the prayers will help. The prayers will help, man. Alright? So feel that this way, yeah?
Yeah, literally, yeah.
Alright, so bear with me. And you stay there, I just want to see. I want to put it a bit up now. That's right. Okay. Alright. Right, so 1 minute for us to confess our sin before the Lord Yahawashi Yahawashi. Come. Alright, so this is the Lord Prayer. We're going to pray in Hebrew, so you repeat after me, alright? Before we start, we're going to give our praise to Ka'alayam, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahawashi, Waha, Rakha, Radash. Alright? So let's go. Abanawa.
Abanawa.
Let's say it with life, man. Let's say it with life. Abanawa.
Abanawa.
Shaba Shamayam.
Shaba Shayam.
Kwadash.
Kwadash.
Aya.
Aya.
Shamka.
Shanka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Malakwafka.
Malakwafka.
Taba'a.
Taba'a.
Ratazaka.
Ratazaka.
Aya.
Aya.
Aisha.
Aisha.
Ba'arataza.
Bararataza.
Kawa.
Kawa.
Aya.
Aya.
Bashamayam.
Bashamayam.
Nathalanawa.
Nafanalawa.
Laha'am.
La'am.
Kayawam.
Kayawam.
Wasalaknawa.
Wasalanawa.
Hawabwafnawa.
Hawabwafnawa.
Kasalaknawa.
Kasalanawa.
Hawabwafianawa. Hawabwaf.
Hawabwaf.
Fianawa.
Fianawa.
Wala'a.
Wala'a.
Kabaya.
Kabaya.
Anawa.
Anawa.
Banasa.
Banasa.
Yawam.
Yawam.
Abal.
Abal.
Awashanawa.
Awashanawa.
Mayan.
Mayan.
Ra'a.
Ra'a.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Laka.
Laka.
Amalakwaf.
Amalakwaf.
Wa'ala.
Wa'ala.
Wata.
Wata.
Paraf.
Paraf.
La walayam.
Lawayam.
Aman.
Aman.
Alright. Few more prayers. We're going to do a prayer of deliverance, prayer of healing, and then we're going to do a prayer for the Most High to give us more wisdom. Okay. Alright. So let's go. Alright. So you repeat after me, okay? We're going to do a prayer of against spiritual attacks. Okay. Oh Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
Ba'ashem.
Ba'ashem.
Yahawashi.
Yahawashi.
Babakusha.
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 Natazalia.
Natazalia.
Mayan.
Mayan.
Ra'a.
Ra'a.
Shalak.
Shalak.
Gabawa.
Gabawa.
Shana'an.
Shana'an.
La.
La.
Natazalia.
Natazaya.
Amalalia.
Amalaya.
Abal.
Abal.
Gabawarafa.
Kababarofa.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Ba'ashem.
Ba'ashem.
Yahawashi.
Yahawashi.
Shammai.
Shammai.
Ranaya.
Ranaya.
O Yahweh.
O
Wa
Yahweh.
Yahawashi.
Yahawashi.
Tawada.
Tawada.
Aman.
Aman.
Alright, we're going to do a healing prayer quickly. Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Ba'ashem.
Ba'ashem.
Yahawashi.
Yahawashi.
Babakusha.
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 Rapa.
Rapa.
Aitazamia.
Atazamia.
Wa.
Wa.
Napashia.
Napashia.
Tawada.
Tawada.
Aman.
Aman.
We're going to do it two more times. Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Ba'ashem.
Ba'ashem.
Yahawashi.
Yahawashi.
Babakusha.
Rakusha.
Babakusha.
Rakusha.
Rapa.
Rapa.
Aitazamia.
Atazamia.
Wa.
Wa.
Napashia.
Napashia.
Tawada.
Tawada.
It's like Tawada.
Tawada.
Aman.
Aman.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Ba'ashem.
Ba'ashem.
Yahawashi.
Yahawashi.
Babakusha.
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 Rapa.
Rapa.
Aitazamia.
Atazamia.
Wa.
Wa.
Napashia.
Napashia.
Tawada.
Wada.
Aman.
Aman.
Alright. Deliverance prayer now, okay?
Mm.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Ba'ashem.
Ba'ashem.
Yahawashi.
Yahawashi.
Babakusha.
Babakusha.
Babakusha. Babakusha.
Babakusha.
Fada.
Lada.
Hayaya.
Hayaya.
Wa.
Wa.
Rachaya,
Rachaya.
Tawada,
Tawada.
Aman.
Aman.
Prayer for wisdom. Yahweh,
Yahweh.
Ba'ashem,
Ba'ashem.
Yahawashi,
Yahawashi.
Nathaniah,
Nathaniah.
Hakama,
Harakama.
Madai,
Madai.
Wa,
Wa.
Wak,
Wa.
Aman,
Aman.
Tawada.
Tawada.
Alright, one more prayer. Bear with me. Pray again for pray again bad vibration. Okay? Alright. Yahweh,
Yahweh.
Ba'ashem,
Ba'ashem.
Yahawashi,
Yahawashi.
Waha,
Waha.
Racha,
Racha.
Hadash,
Hadash.
Kaya,
Kaya.
La'a,
La'a.
Nahash,
Nahash.
Bayakwa,
Bayakwa.
Wala'a,
Wala'a.
Basam,
Basam.
Baya,
Baya.
Shawala,
Shawala.
Aman,
Aman.
Tawada,
Tawada.
Kalaya,
Kalaya.
Yahweh,
Yahweh.
Ba'ashem,
Ba'ashem.
Yahawashi, Waha,
Waha.
Racha, Hadash, Rakata Yahweh,
Rakata.
Rakata Yahawashi, Rakata Yahweh, Rakata Yahawashi, Rakata Yahweh, Rakata Yahawashi, Rakata Yahweh, Rakata Yahawashi, Amen.
Aman.
Form your Sharala.
Yes.